are on a mission. 0 wins this season for the Thunder hurts big time. Baltimore's goal, to destroy all opposing players who enter into the zone. Their sights are set on the triple offensive threat of the wings Paul Gait, Gary Gait, and Resch. To shut them down means a victory tonight.
The Wings are still hurting from last week's loss at Buffalo, where 46 saves by Philadelphia's all-pro goalie Dallas Eliuk wasn't enough. The Wings are happy to be back home, where they haven't lost in over a year.
Welcome to the Spectrum, the home of the Philadelphia Wings. Here on the Deuce, I'm Lee Felsmo, along with Christy Lee. We continue our coverage of major indoor lacrosse league action. Philadelphia comes in tonight 1-1. They need a victory very badly, but they are bruised and battered from that big game against Buffalo last week. They're not the only team, though, feeling their lumps. Baltimore comes in 0-3. They must win tonight, they feel, to have a chance at the playoffs. But they will be without Dave Petramala. He has a virus that will keep him out of the game. There are other injuries that are important, and for more on that, let's go to Christy Lee.
Thanks, Lee. You mentioned injuries, and 2 key guys are standing right next to me. First of all, from the Philadelphia Wings, since we are at home, Gary Martin. Gary, you are going to miss your first game. You had a winning streak of, what, 52 regular games, 9 playoff games. What happened to you in Buffalo?
Basically, with 50 seconds to go, caught the ball, and Tim Belton was right there, and he just nailed me right in the shoulder. And I swear, I ran right off the field, and when we got back in the locker room, my shoulder was out of my arm, so I was out.
How long are you going to be out?
They're saying 6 weeks. Doc could just take a look at me, and hopefully I'll bring it down to 4 weeks and be ready for the Detroit or the Buffalo game.
Wow, Gary. You know, shoulder injuries are not just limited to the Philadelphia Wings. Joining me now from the Baltimore Thunder, John Tucker. John, is a very interesting story. You started the season, you were going to be a coach. Then you decided to play. Now it looks like because of your injury, you're back to coaching.
Yes. Hopefully for the final time. I took the same shot Gary did in Buffalo. Same place. Mine is dislocated. I'll be out about 8 weeks.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Good luck to both of you guys, and we'll be back to throw out the rock on the Deuce coming up next. Tonight's major indoor lacrosse league game on the Deuce is brought to you by Coors Light, the official beer of the MILL. Coors Light, check it out. By Adidas, the official footwear of the MILL. Adidas, the brand with 3 stripes. And by STX Lacrosse Equipment, official equipment supplier to the Philadelphia Wings.
Think of all this as a large block of ice. Think of this as a chip off the old block. Coors Light's aged ice cold. So when you think of ice, think of the silver bullet. The only way to chill.
They're always working on something new.
That's why everyone who's serious about lacrosse plays with Sticks equipment.
My mother uses the stick.
With Sticks, you'll score more goals.
Probably 1,000, 100,000, million.
The people at Sticks know the sport.
The lacrosse players. Lacrosse players? I think my brother Paul works at Sticks. Every goal we scored was Sticks. Sure do. Can't say any more about it.
If the big head iron can do this with 2 balls, imagine what it can do with just 1. Double your sweet spot. Call 1-800-BIG-HEAD.
Primitive hunters relied on their highly developed brains to find food. Today, the hunt leads to Bennigan's for the Monte Cristo, made with ham, turkey, and cheeses. Served crisp and golden brown. Share one with your fellow missing links. Bennigan's, food and fun for humans.
Hi, I'm Chris Elliott. I just want to talk to you about some things you might not know about cable. Have you heard of cable in the classroom?
No.
It's revolutionizing teaching as we know it. It's giving teachers a whole new way to teach and children a whole new way to learn.
Really?
Do you know that cable is providing commercial-free programming free of charge to teachers?
Beautiful.
It's going to change the future and make us better human beings in the process.
That's great, Chris.
I think I got my point across best I can.
Who's next?
We're back at the Spectrum on the Deuce. Major indoor lacrosse. The Baltimore Thunder visiting the Philadelphia Wings. Leaf Elsmo, Christy Lee ready to start the action and roll out the rock. But first, face-to-face, Lindsay Dixon, number 12 for Baltimore. A guy to watch, leading the team with 5 goals, 2 assists. Jim Rogers, a great-looking young talent. First year on the team. He takes flight with 3-3 going into his 3rd game. David Lee, Dallas Eliuk, Philadelphia. These 2 guys, similar styles, very good in the goal. They will be tested tonight. The crowd, as always, in Philadelphia, here, they're packed. They are very loud, very vocal. Buffalo and Philadelphia, they are both challenging each other for the best crowd in Major Indoor Lacrosse League. Attendance and factors in the game. Kronberger now takes the face-off from Baltimore as they control early on. Now back to the Wings. The Wings in the gray for Philadelphia and black. Baltimore in the red, yellow, and black. And now the first offensive set with Resch starting it out. A new lineup for Philadelphia. David Lee with a stop. A great save there. Baltimore will focus on ground balls and shots. Coach Skip Lichtfuss feels that his team must improve in those areas. Lindsay Dixon nailed from behind. Picked up loose ball. Finneran takes a shot wide. Number 11 for the Wings. And Finneran now goes back to Resch. This first line for Philadelphia has been retooled, with Resch coming from the 3rd line, rejoining Gary Gait rather on this first line. Gary Gait has the ball now, looking for help, waving players off all the way across the cylinder, looking for Finneran. Now the ball loose. Again, ground ball's key, fast break. Here comes Baltimore, a chance to get their 2nd shot. A trailing player, Curry. Look for Curry to get it. No, the shot taken wide. Curry had a much better shot and was waiting for the ball. He didn't get it. Ball goes back to Philadelphia. Great chance there for them to get a good shot off, but it was not to be for Todd Curry. Now Philadelphia trying to get a good shot and pressure. No score yet early in the first quarter.
We're still standing
We're at the Spectrum.
off the ball. We're standing too much.
Philadelphia comes in 1-1 after losing to Buffalo last week. Baltimore 0-3. Paul Gait now looks for his first shot of the game. Wheels to his right hand. Shovel shot saved by David Lee. Kicked in the cylinder. Watch it. And another big save by Lee. That call in the crease. Ball goes back to Philadelphia. Matchup history, Wings lead 13-3. Home, they're 7-2 away, 6-1. The last time Baltimore won was way back in 1991, March 17th to be exact, right here at the Spectrum against this Philadelphia team. Getting ready to inbound, 13-33, a lot of time left in quarter number 1. No score. David Lee at the goal for Baltimore in the red, yellow, and black. Bates, Chris Bates now takes the shot selection out front, and it goes wide. Not much pressure put on David Lee that time. He picks it up easily. Goes away from his benches, as you can see, for the substitution on offense. Fresh legs in for Baltimore as the Philadelphia Wings drop back to play defense. One time on offense, one time on defense is about all you get in this fast-paced indoor lacrosse, and then you're out for a 3. Canabine, the rookie, left-handed shot in the goal. He found rope. Crowd boos as early on, this one on paper, this game looked like it could be a blowout for these Wings, but that was the problem with the coaches. They thought maybe their team would take Baltimore a little lightly. Canabine, the rookie, a bounce shot with the left hand, beautifully done. He switches from right to left to give himself more of an angle, and he gets the first goal of the game. Baltimore on top, 1-0. Skip Lichtfuss, the coach of Baltimore, wants to improve in the area of shots. He gets the early lead. Face-offs, this will be the 2nd one. This one controlled for a moment by Philadelphia. Baltimore, they have one thing to crow about, is the fact that they have a better face-off percentage than most of the teams in the league. They get about 60% of their face-offs. Philadelphia is about even at 50% of their draws, 31-31 coming into the game. Philadelphia shooting from outside, and David Lee comes out to cut the angle. This is Nostrum nursing a sore shoulder. Shot from out front. Chris Flynn puts it off of the pads of goalie David Lee. Again, reloading for a 3rd shot. This is something Baltimore doesn't want to do. Give him 3 and 4 shots in an offensive set. Matt Wilson, 29, playing defense all the way across the cylinder to Mark Gold. He can't get it. The 6th shot of the series. Incredible pressure on David Lee. Baltimore has to take the pressure off and get possession. Mark Gold, look to the cylinder, dishes off. Rocket by McAvoy goes wide. Finally, Kronberger picks it up, and Baltimore gives their defense a rest. Incredible pressure put on by the offense of Philadelphia, but they could not get a goal. 10 ground balls for the Wings, only 4 for the Thunder, and that's what gave them those 6 straight shots. Unbelievable. Ball misplayed around the cylinder. Baltimore leads in the black, yellow, and red jerseys against the hometown Philadelphia Wings. It's been a while since Baltimore has beaten this team. Coach Skip Lichtfuss thinks he has to have a win pretty soon. He's 0-3 now, and he wants to get set up for the last 2 games.
Close it out.
Offense read. Go! Number 3, Paul Denikin. Denikin makes a nice tuck move, comes in for a better angle, and that made David Lee a little bit unsettled of where he was. First goal tonight for Denikin, who had an excellent game last week against the Buffalo Bandits in a losing cause. Denikin from Washington College, an All-American who played a couple years out there with Johnny Nostrin. Kevin Finneran, good-looking player, comes into center. Gary Gait. He's got it. If there's any player you don't want to have the ball down low, it's either Paul or Gary. Watch the good give up by Finneran. That ball should not get through Angadi, but it did. And once Gary got it, watch Angadi come off his man. Now he tries to fan the ball, misses it. Gary's got it all open. Big fake, pulls it to the near side. No chance for David Lee. 2-1. Philadelphia leads 10-11 left in quarter number 1. They got 2 goals in 29 seconds. And that is putting pressure on David Lee. Baltimore now. Lindsay Dixon, we talked about how important he is to the offense, and he is being ragged by the defensive team. Gary Gait putting a lot of pressure on him. All the way up to the Bob Sheck streaking down the field. David Lee tries to get it. Finally, Canamine. Sheck was wide open, and Gary Gait found him. Great defense played by Gary Gait. Denikin, number 3 for Philadelphia, plays defense right there, and the shot comes in. Intense opening pressure with Philadelphia taking a lot of shots. Christy, you're on the Philadelphia bench.
Talking about pressure, this is exactly the way they wanted to play this game. Coming out of the box, running. They're going up and down the field. They want to run Baltimore to death. So we're going to see a lot of fast plays tonight as we continue on with this game. And it looks like it worked. 2 goals in 29 seconds. You can't laugh at that success.
And Christy, the ground balls will be critical. Skip Lichtfuss talked about it. This team from Philadelphia really controls ground balls. They have a ton more when you look at game stats. 80-some compared to 50-some, even though they've played 1 less game. Here they come again on the offense. This is the kind of power you get. That's a goal, Tom Marechek. When you get the ground balls, you get the shots. Marechek gets goal number 3. A 2-goal lead for Philadelphia with 8:52 left. Tommy Marechek gets his first goal of the night, the 3rd straight goal for Philadelphia. They lead 3-1 with 8:49 left. The Wings lead in shots. Philadelphia 7 shots, Baltimore 4. Here comes Sturgill. I talked about his prowess. He wins about 61% of his faceoffs, the best in the Major Indoor Lacrosse League for a guy who takes faceoffs in great numbers. He'll be the specialist for Baltimore. Marechek's had a great opening shot and a goal. Christy,
that's right, Leaf. In fact, Tom is standing with me right now. Tom, it's already 3-1, and without Petramala, is it going to be kind of easy to score on them tonight?
It's not going to be easy. We got great athletes on the team, and
They just have to work a little harder now without Dave. Dave's a great addition to this team, but, you know, his losses are going to kill him too much. They're great athletes.
Great. Thanks a lot, Tommy. Tom Marechek, now back up to you, Leaf.
All right, Christy, one thing that distinguishes Marechek and the Gates is the ability to shoot behind the back. They can shoot the ball from anywhere, and the behind-the-back prowess, they are accurate with that shot, maybe more than any players we remember in the United States. They played at Syracuse together. Dixon in front. He's got rope in the corner. Beautiful job by Lindsay Dixon. Crowd doesn't like it, but Dixon, so important to the offense, gets goal number 2 for Baltimore, and now the score 3-2. Watch him come in with the power move. Just takes McAvoy across the cylinder, and when he gets that close to goalie Dallas Eliuk, he just has pretty much a big target to shoot at, and it's impossible to save it for Eliuk. Right in his face, a good offensive move for the Baltimore Thunder. 1-goal lead for Philadelphia in the gray and black. Now Resch picks it up. This is the first offensive unit. Finneran controls all the way across the far side. Watch the shot. Big defense against Paul Denikin. Up top is Finneran. He's wide open. Gary Gait on the backside. Gary Gait makes a cut. Scheck can't see him. Scheck now behind the back, a little shovel out front. And Gait. Back to his defensive player, Durgel. And now Durgel looks all the way up, finally finds Klodson, who couldn't pick it up. Big defense there, a push by Scheck. They'll call a push and give it back to the Baltimore Thunder. Durgel was determined to shoot that ball upfield. And Tony Resch right now happy with the lead, but a little bit concerned that it's such a close game. 3-2. Baltimore has been getting some good shots in close. Jackson tried to pick up that one in the cylinder. This is Walsh. Tim Walsh, an All-American in North Carolina in his field days. Jeff Jackson leads the team in goals scored along with Dixon. Walsh, a big underhand shot, bounces off the leg of Scott Gabrielson. Shot clock down to 4. They're going to lose possession anyway, even if Walsh gets it. He dishes it back up, knowing that they won't keep possession. A few players change. Kronberg comes on. Now the offense shifts for Philadelphia. 3-2, 6:19 left. Face-offs in Baltimore's favor, 4-2. We talked about how well they have done in that department, led by Bill Durgel. Outside shot off the chest of Lee. David Lee picks it up with the gloved hand. That's allowed right into the stick. You'll see he'll go away from the benches that are on the near side, right below our camera position here. He protects the ball by going away, and then the fresh offense comes on. Lindsay Dixon scored the last goal. Same move right here. Comes across the right. This time, pushed back beautifully. Great defense in close. Rogers, the young kid, just drove him off. And that was the same move, but a better defensive set by Rogers, who just pushed Dixon off the cylinder.
Crease violation. Silver ball.
Philadelphia now with Paul Gait behind the back. Now, Dixon trying to get the ball up. Durgel all by himself. Trailing player, no help. Baltimore will not have a chance to push a fast break here as fresh players come on. Butch Marino, a member of the United States national team, gives up to Timmy Welsh. Timmy Welsh likes to shoot him out front. Goes to the cylinder, no! Dives it himself, runs across the crease. No violation call, they maintain possession. A fresh shot clock. Marino gives it up, Martino. This is Timmy Welsh, left-handed shovel pass. Not much of an angle. The ball now protected by Dallas Eliuk. They'll call Welsh in the crease and give the ball to Philadelphia. Eliuk, number 35, in the goal. One of this league's best. 4:48 left in the first quarter. 3-2. Philadelphia in the black and gold, or black and silver, I should say, leading Nostrin. Hits the rope. Johnny Nostrin, who used to play for Baltimore, has a great left-handed shot. Played at Washington College. Watch him just crank it up. Hit the corner. Nothing but rope. 4-2 Wings.
What would you do to get your kids to read?
I've tried pleading. I've tried candy.
Food, TV,
It was heavy negotiations. We even had to have a contract.
Now you don't have to bargain or plead to get your kids to read. Just give them Sports Illustrated for Kids. Here's why.
It's exciting, so they're excited to read it.
He's always reading and always asking us questions.
We have found Mark blooming with reading.
Kids love everything from the puzzles and posters to the sports stars, mazes, and games.
I like Buzz Beamer a lot because he's a goof.
But it's more than just fun. It's an education.
This opens up avenues to all sorts of educational values.
Sportsmanship, self-esteem,
teamwork.
Sports Illustrated for Kids should be in every classroom.
Call now and use your credit card. Get a year's worth of Sports Illustrated for Kids for 4 monthly installments of $5.99. Your kids will love getting it in the mail with their name on it.
My son is reading now because of Sports Illustrated for Kids.
Give Sports Illustrated for Kids to your children or grandchildren today.
So we think reading is #1 in importance, and this is an easy way to start that process.
Welcome back to the Spectrum, flying off the gates. Here we go, goals and assists for Paul and Gary. Look at how they dominate scoring. 27 points between them, 42 for the Wings. And this is coming into tonight's game. The offense for the Philadelphia rides on the backs of the great Gait brother combination. One of the new guys to really give them fire, though, is Mark Gold. He's got rope. Mark Gold, an 8-year veteran, number 21, gets his first goal of this season. Five to 2, Philadelphia leads. Watch Gold find room in the middle. Nobody picks him up, and once you get in the middle, you've got the full 18 square feet to shoot at. And you see David Lee had the angle cut down initially, but could not follow the sweeping Mark Gold. The veteran gets his first of the season. 5 to 2, another 3-goal lead for Philadelphia. They've scored in spurts. Canabine opened up the scoring for Baltimore. Then it was 3 straight for Philly before Lindsay Dixon scored. Now 2 straight for Philadelphia as that one bounces over David Lee. Bilger tries to get possession over the back. They'll give the ball to Angadi and Baltimore. Tom Young whistles possession down low. Canabine, the rookie, number 6, comes on board. And now that offensive unit is balanced with Dixon, Horms, Martino, number 3, and Wills, 16. Wills comes in number 16, gets a nice pick. Wills rolls off it, the pick and roll move. Now he's open. Wills, a left-hander from Johns Hopkins, wanting to shoot but cannot get it off. Bilger plays defense against him and wraps him up. Hold is the call against Bilger, number 6. And the ball will go back to Dixon. Tony Resch, one of the best defensive players to play for the Wings. All-American at Yale in his collegiate days. Lindsay Dixon, already 1 goal tonight. He's got a shot there. Takes one, a bounce shot. Goes high over Dallas Eliuk. Rocked into the boards. Baltimore, good job pushing for the loose ball. They're going to call him for 2 minutes. A boarding call against Baltimore will give Philadelphia their first power play of the game. Lindsay Dixon goes into the box. He's a team leader. Philadelphia scored their last 2 goals in 10 seconds, and I'll tell you, the scoring in bunches has really hurt Baltimore tonight. 5 to 2 to score with 3:20 left. Quarter number 1.
Number 12 of the Baltimore Thunder. 2 minutes.
This will be the first power play opportunity. Gary Gait triggers from up top. That's Paul Gait does. That's Gary right there with the left-handed shot. Paul, Gary, number 22, all the way across to Marechek. Marechek down low. Finneran tries to collect it. This has a new look, this offensive unit does, because Marechek, 42, will be at the top corner. All along you'll have 3 players along the top. Paul Gait in the middle, Marechek to his left, Gary Gait to his right. Marechek, rope and goal number 2.
Second goal of the night for number 42, Tommy Marechek.
Marechek is so tough to defense. He can shoot behind the back and in front. He's just getting warmed up to this league. He's only played in 2 games. That shot on the power play, his 2nd goal of the night. 6 to 2, and when this guy gets hot, I think he'll be good for a good 3 goals a game on average. Really a boost to the offense of the Philadelphia Wings as they try to regain the World Championship from the Buffalo Bandits. A 4-goal lead. First quarter action. Philadelphia in the black and silver with the lead. Look at Gary Gait come through the defense. And and they're calling it off. In the crease, a violation on a player that was not shooting. No goal. Take it off the boards, folks. Score still 6 to 2. A crease violation against another Philadelphia player. Walsh now will trigger the offense for Baltimore up top.
Part of the game.
Ricky Freed, who played here at Philadelphia, playing his first game for Baltimore this season. Here goes a fast break. Gary Gait just has a 99% chance of going in. Bingo! Broke for Gait. Gary Gait is so impossible to stop one-on-one. Watch the move. Fakes there, comes in with the left, now goes around behind the back. 7-2, a 5-goal lead for Philadelphia in the first quarter.
Is stripping old paint a pain in the elbow? Well, now you can power off old paint, stain, varnish, even rust with Easy Stripper. It literally eats old paint. Forget messy chemicals or changing sheets of sandpaper. Easy Stripper strips window frames and powers paint off siding. It's gentle enough to remove old varnish, yet it chews up thick, scaly rust in seconds. Yes, Easy Stripper powers off old paint and rust on contact. But there's more. Here's the driver. Now you can power in any screw in seconds. Monster screws like this, or tiny screws like this. Even screws above your head. Yes, when you order Easy Stripper to power off paint and rust, you also get the driver to power in any screw. Both tools for an incredible $19.95. Order now.
Have your credit card ready and call 1-800-233-0500 or send $19.95 plus $5.95 shipping to Easy Stripper Plus, P.O. Box 121, Plainville, Connecticut 06062. Order now. That's 1-800-233-0500.
Hi, I'm Tina. This is my baby. I feed her, nurture her, and I guide her. Believe me. At 130 miles an hour, when she starts to whine, I'm a real mother.
National Hockey Night on ESPN2. Detroit Red Wings versus the Toronto Maple Leafs on the 15th of February, 7:30 p.m. Some of the great scores in the NHL, you can watch them as the Red Wings take on Doug Gilmour, the NHL's #3 goal scorer. Back to live action, though, right now at the Spectrum. Lee Felsbo, Christy Lee. We are moments away from ending quarter number 1, and the Wings are on a tear. 4 straight goals give them a 7-2 lead, and it has really been ignited by Gary Gait and Tom Marechek. Each have 2 goals. But now Baltimore trying to get back in off the pipe. Bad break, fast break. Paul Gait, watch out. David Lee looking for room. He's got it. You can't give the Gates the fast break. Gary had the last fast break. This is Paul who comes right down. No tricks there. Gets the stick high, which brings David Lee high, and then bounces it underneath him into the net. They have all the tools, Paul and Gary Gait. Tom Marechek just makes the offense that much more dangerous. Rob Scheck also an influence. A lot of guys can score in Philadelphia, and that's what's making them optimistic about their chances this year against the great Buffalo Bandits. Baltimore, though, doesn't want to think about that. They want to get back in this game. With less than 38 seconds left, they've got to overcome a 6-goal lead. Maybe something that really has to have their team wondering is the loss of Petramala. The fact that he got sick just yesterday, a key to their defense. Jackson, number 5, comes in and takes a shot for Baltimore again. A fast break opportunity for Philadelphia as they reload their offense. You'll notice it's usually 1 shot for Baltimore, and they're down the field. Philadelphia getting this loose ball. Philadelphia many times, 2, 3, 4 shots. A wrap shot behind the back from McAvoy. Up top again, watch out, in the cylinder, no! McAvoy following his own miss, gets open, and scores his first goal of the game. 9-2 Philadelphia. McAvoy had just missed an opportunity. He hustled back in the cylinder. The defense didn't follow him, and he was wide open. John McAvoy, first goal tonight. Look at that 7-goal lead with just ticks of the clock left here in quarter number 1. That'll do it in quarter number 1. The Philadelphia Wings, a huge lead on the backs of Paul Gehrig and Gary Gait.
Seconds. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, February 25th.
Philadelphia has exploded for a 9-2 lead in quarter number 1, enough to get David Lee out of the goal. Now Kevin Bilger comes in to replace David Lee. He will now get his first action. Kevin Bilger, a very interesting story. He was a starter here in Philadelphia for one of their championship years. He had one of his best games against Baltimore, now playing for Baltimore, and he needs to come up big if the Thunder is going to have a chance to come back into this game. Canabine takes the left-handed shot. Dallas Eliuk looking stellar in the goal. 6 straight goals gives Philadelphia that 9-2 lead. It was 3-2 at one point after Lindsay Dixon scored, but Philadelphia just took over. It's been a tough night for goalies. Christy?
Now on the Baltimore Thunder bench is David Lee. David, you started this game in the goalie post. They put Kevin Bilger in for the second quarter. Can you tell us why?
Well, some nights the ball just seems to hit you and you can't miss it. Another night you just can't seem to do anything right. Tonight just wasn't a good night for me, and hopefully Kevin will go in there and do a good job. He's capable of doing it, and maybe the team will pick up for him and play a little better than we're playing for me.
Right, thanks a lot, David. Kevin Bilger does have experience with these Philadelphia Wings. He, of course, played here. And David Lee, the goalie number 1, he's from Vancouver College in British Columbia, Lee.
All right, David Lee, a tough night. 9 goals scored against him on only 14 shots. Shows you that this Philadelphia team, not only relentless, but very accurate in their shooting. Welsh now for Baltimore behind the goal, looking for help. Nobody cutting, nobody open. The shot clock down to 8. And now the ball is just pushed in front of the goalie for Philadelphia, Dallas. Eliuk Finneran gets off and running for the offense. Back off the back glass, and now Kevin Bilger picks it up. He looks for the outlet pass. Thunder allowing 16 goals per game, the worst in the mill. Defense was one of the areas Skip Lichtfuss, the coach, hoped to improve on. Was not able to do it. Unfortunately for him, the offense is not as good as it was last year, and they need to improve. Scott Gabrielson takes a shot, and Kevin Bilger gets yet another save. 2 so far in the second quarter for Bilger, who came in to replace starter David Lee. Welsh now looking to the sideline. Fresh legs coming on. Martino, number 3, coming on with Canabine, number 6, with the ball now up top, trying to push in. Number 22, Timmy Horms. Horms is wrapped up. Possession on the hold call. Well, now they might call a 2-minute penalty. Yes, they are. From across the field. The call is against one of the Gates, I believe. And they'll give him 2 minutes in the box. Skip Lichtfuss right there, inducted into the Hall of Fame for field lacrosse. His contributions there just last week. Skip was a 3-time All-American. Washington Lee has been a successful coach at the Mount Washington Club. Will coach the world team this year for the United States in England. And Skip has had just an absolutely great career, both as a coach and a player, still contributing. And of course, the Major Indoor Lacrosse League is still something he's trying to figure out as his players 0-3 coming into this game. Dixon up top, he'll be the trigger man for the power play for Baltimore. Wide to the right, the shooter's side, right hand. And again, they only get one shot at it, and the ball goes back for Philadelphia. Now, Baltimore has the extra man. You have to watch doubling Paul and Gary Gait. They can go through two players. This is Paul Gait, 19, against two players. Nostrand up top. Nostrand nursing a left shoulder. This is J.C. Conley, still all-time leader in points for Philadelphia. He takes another hard shot that goes wide right, out of bounds. The shot clock was down to 5, so J.C. took that one. And there's a good look of Kevin Bilger, Pumper, as they call him. And you see him waving his hand. He got nailed maybe on that shot, and his hand sore, even though he's wearing the heavy protection. Shot from Ricky Freed, plays the shooter's left-hand side up top. Again, one shot, and the ball goes back to Philadelphia. First quarter stats, Philadelphia leads in all categories: shots, loose balls, and face-offs. So Baltimore, that was ahead 4-2 at one point in face-offs, ends up losing the first quarter in that category 8-4. So 6 straight face-offs helped in that 6th straight goal run for the Philadelphia Wings. Now Flynn dishes it down low in the offense, shot clock down to 15. They're still a man short. They will not push the offense. They'll milk the clock. Fast break opportunity. Paul Gait going back. It's Jeff Jackson. Watch behind him. He doesn't see the defense. Looks for the trailer. Jeff Jackson out front now. Marino with the right hand goes again wide. Durgle, fake, and another bounce shot goes wide of the mark. A good save by Dallas Eliuk. Eliuk out of the goal, and he just pushes it up front. Bill Durgle mixing it up with the Philadelphia wing. It's Brian Boker. Referees separating the players 9-2. The Philadelphia Wings still lead. 10:50 left in the second.
It's tough being a fan when your team isn't the home team, especially when I try to find coverage of my favorite team in the local paper. I'm lucky if I can find last week's score. But if you're like me, you'll be happy to know there's one publication that'll make you feel right at home. The Sporting News. You'll love the Sporting News, no matter what team you love, even if it is the home team.
Call this number now and get 4 issues of the Sporting News free. You'll get opinions and analysis, team-by-team reports, and coverage of all the college conferences, plus baseball, basketball, and hockey all year long. Call now and you'll get 4 free issues of the Sporting News. If you like them, you'll get 24 more issues at this great TV price. If not, just mark the bill, cancel, and owe nothing. The 4 issues are yours to keep.
So call now for the Sporting News, the publication that treats every team like the home team.
Call now and you'll get 4 great issues of the Sporting News free.
Call 1-800-233-0500.
Back at the spectrum, Lee Felsmo and Christy Lee, and that major fighting penalty for one player on each team, 5 minutes for each, will leave a 4-on-4. Actually, now it's... Well, Philadelphia looks... I don't know, this looks wrong. They have 5 players on the field and 1 player in the box. All right, so both players go in the box. It doesn't affect the field strength. That's why it took a little while to work out. With 1 player each in the fighting penalty, nobody goes in the box. Baltimore 12 minutes without scoring a goal. It was 3-2 when Dixon scored the 2nd goal for Baltimore. They were very close, but since then, Skip Lichtfuss was trying to figure things out. Right now, trying to get this penalty straight. It'll be a power play. Marechek back to Paul Gait. All the way down low. Watch out. Didn't get to the far side. Slam dunk for Kevin Finneran. Finneran gets the 2nd power play goal for Philadelphia. Watch how they move it down low. Once Denikin gets it, he goes far side. Bilger has no chance to make a save. He has to go from the right pipe to the left pipe. He cannot make it across there in time, and it's a slam dunk right behind him by Finneran. Finneran, one of the most steady players on this Philadelphia roster, plays a well-rounded game, defense, can assist, can score. One of the unsung hero types, but puts up big numbers in the process. Very quiet in the way he does it, but he can win a game for you. Baltimore now needs to control face-offs. They need to control ground balls. 10-2 the score. 9:29 left in quarter number 2. And Gait gets it down low as Baltimore resets their offense. Clyde's will be coming in. Christy Lee's down on the Baltimore bench for quarter number 2.
Leaf, as you can imagine, the tension on the Baltimore bench is at an all-time high right now. Dave Petramala, their leader, their defense guy, did not make this trip. We talked about it earlier. He's got the flu. The guys are telling me that although he's a leader and they miss his defensive presence, there's a lot of other guys who can step up and take charge. They're hoping that somebody's going to do that real soon.
Well, Chrissy, that is one of the keys of this game. He is a leader. He doesn't have to give you big numbers offensively. He's a great defensive player, and he plays the game hard. Denikin. Bounce shot for goal number 11, and this game is turning into a wrap. It's too easy on the power play, as Bilger's saying, why the shots right in my face? Down low, watches the ball goes low. Defense doesn't slide over. Looks like they were trying to cut off the top players, trying something different with a man down near the Baltimore. Gary Gait makes the fake all the way across. 2 behind-the-back passes, and the dish down low. A bounce shot beats Bilger. Again, look at the defense sliding in. They were playing pressure up top, trying to cut off the gates, and left a long slide for number 11, and Gait. He had to play both low players. He couldn't get there in time. That behind-the-back feed is so impossible to defend. Philadelphia, 3 for 3 on extra man. And 2 extra man goals in a row. Score 11-2, 8:19 left, and Baltimore needs a goal in a hurry. They now control the ball. Philadelphia does. McAvoy looking in the cylinder. Back door, and it goes behind the goal. McAvoy tries to pick it up. Finally gets it. Look at the back door again. Easy shot in front. Johnny Nostrand. Johnny Nostrand nursing that left shoulder that's been injured since the Buffalo game. The last game, he got it knocked pretty tough. Bilger saying, what the heck do I have to do? These team from Philadelphia getting 2 and 3 shots every time. Backdoor, Bilger is focusing to his right. The feed goes across the cylinder. You've got to knock those feeds down. Watch the defense. Bilger's all the way on the right pipe. This feed goes all the way across. Now Bilger tries to go left. He can't get there in time. That's impossible. The defense has to block down that shot. 12-2. The Wings are eating up the defense of Baltimore. 12-2. I tell you what, a lot of different players have scored for Philadelphia too, so it's hard to focus on any one guy. Jeff Willis fakes it from up top. They all have put some shots in the face of Eliuk. Martino now out to the cylinder, and he gets a shot for Canopy. Marechek. Outlets. Here comes Philadelphia. Conley, JC misses the pickup. Defense there by Jeff Willis. All the way across again behind Paul. Gait looking for help inside. Rogers is open. No, up top to Conley. And it bounces off of Wills. Again, they pick it up. Notice how many shots. Philadelphia, 2, 3 shots. Sometimes 4 every offensive set. Here comes the 3rd shot on this one. And here comes a 4th. No, he mishandles it, and now Canopy picks it up. Too many shots per offensive set for Philadelphia. Canopy behind the back off the pipe. They gave it a goal, but no, off the pipe. The goal judge turned on the light. Now the other side, nothing but rope. Paul Gait.
Lucky 13.
The offense for Philadelphia just running over and fast breaking at will against Baltimore. 13-2 with 6-2-3 left in the second.
Move it. Cool it. Silver. Bullet. Rock it. Smooth it. Silver. Bullet. Play it. Pull it. Take it. Taste it. Live it. Love it. Say it. Play it. Take it. Pull it. Silver bullet. It's the right beer now. Grab it while you can. Silver bullet. Have the right beer now.
Are you ready to rumble?
NHL Fire on Ice on the Deuce. Buffalo Sabres versus the Hartford Whalers. Wednesday, February 16th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time, and it's live. Don't miss. NHL Fire on Ice. Right now, the Fire is in the offense of Philadelphia with 6:18 left in quarter number 2. They are crunching the Baltimore Thunder. 10 consecutive goals for Philadelphia. And according to my count, at least 9 players have scored for the Philadelphia team. Fast break for Finner, and the goalie was out. Nobody in the goal as Baltimore tried to put 6 offensive players on the board. It was Lichtfuss is looking to try to pick it up. It was a delayed call, a penalty on Philadelphia. Bilger came out. They put 6 players on the offensive end. But as soon as they lost possession, of course, the whistle blows, and Gait gets sent to the box. His second time tonight. Gait does not usually have that many penalties. Great crowd here at the Spectrum, as always. And a big boost to Philadelphia, that hard loss in Buffalo last week. Now they come to this wonderful home crowd to get their offense back on track, and it is doing a great job. Power play for Baltimore, their 3rd attempt, and they haven't scored yet. Lindsay Dixon over to Butch Marino. Jeff Wills is up top, shot and low by Canabine, the rookie. Wills back to number 12, Lindsay Dixon. Back to Wills, 16, big dunk move, and inside, great save by Eliuk. The follow-up shot. Good to see. Maybe only the 2nd or 3rd follow-up shot we've seen from Baltimore. Typically, 1 shot, and the ball goes down to the Philadelphia offensive end. Push call against the Philadelphia Wings, and Baltimore will get possession back. The power play still in effect with 1:26 left on that. Hard shot out front, bounces off the pads. They've got goal number 3. Flynn complaining about the reset. Maybe it was too quick. 13-3, Baltimore scores a much-needed goal. We'll be back with the final 5 minutes in the second quarter from the Spectrum.
A redwing flies gracefully in the sky. A maple leaf falls gracefully from a tree. Those are about the only graceful things in this game. The Detroit Red Wings versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. Tomorrow at 7:30, NHL on ESPN2.
Basketball is a game of style. It's a game of form and finesse. But believe me, when I'm in your face, it's not pretty.
Hi, my name's Ungi. Meet my good friends, the Cones. Through the Cones, I've met speed, thrill, and my best buddy, danger. Good friends are hard to find.
Jeff Jackson finally gets a goal for Baltimore. It's been a long time since they've scored. It was 3-2 at one point, but then it was a huge run. 10 straight goals for Philadelphia as Curry gets possession of the faceoff. Todd Curry, an All-American midfielder from Syracuse. A lot of Syracuse players on the field tonight. The Gates in particular. Tom Marechek played there. Gurgle played there. This is Tim Walsh, number 23. He was a North Carolina All-American. And the fast break for Philadelphia. We've seen it all night. McAvoy's up front. Watch for McAvoy to get the ball. Here goes McAvoy. Nothing going off the pipe. Good save by Bilger. Up top to Gold. Mark Gold's got one already. Low shot goes wide. Mark Gold, an 8-year veteran. Ball picked up by Timmy Welsh. Again, Philadelphia gets at least 2 shots on every offensive set. Baltimore usually 1 and out. No angle allowed for Marino, who was behind the net. Eliuk, an easy block. And they're saying it was off the goalie into the crowd. Baltimore will maintain possession. There's a good look at Butch Marino, number 66. He's got a tremendously hard shot from out front. There it is. In the face of Eliuk, picked up real quickly. Lindsay Dixon behind the back, and that one didn't go. Baltimore looks great when they get the second and third shot, and that has been one of the keys for Philadelphia. 2 keys for Philly's offense. If they don't have a fast break, which they've had plenty of, they're getting 2 shots, 3 shots, and 4 shots on every offensive set. Gait now. Rob Sheck into the cylinder, wide open, bounce shot saved by Bilger. Great defensive play on Scott Gabrielson. Picked up by Kevin Finner, and he can do it all right down the center. Look for him to dish it off. Up top, he looks for help. Resch gets it now. He can't pick it up. Bilger tries to get it. He can't. Matt Wilson in for Petramalo, number 29. Matt Wilson now comes off as Angadi will come down and look for help. Vince Angadi gives it off to Timmy Horms. Horms will control the ball as the fresh players come on. Clodson, number 7. Canabine, the rookie, number 6. Timmy Horms. Down low, the wheeling Martino. Bobby Martino comes in, tries to slam dunk with the left hand. He kept it in the right hand position, but tried to backhand it in. It didn't work. Gary Gait very calmly trying to get possession. Canabine picks it up. Open man is Jeff Jackson. He's got it in a save by Dallas Eliuk. Eliuk with a 75% save percentage coming into this game shows why he is one of the best. Eliuk has been everything this team wants him to be tonight. Big save out in front because the feed came from his right, went to Jackson. And Eliuk got in great position. 2:58 left, a 13-3 score, 10-goal margin for the hometown Philadelphia team.
Success in life is the result of preparation and having the right tools. To become the person you've always wanted to be, select Nordic Flex Gold. You provide the effort, and Nordic Flex Gold provides the means to your personal success. You want to develop the poise, confidence, and energy that come from a strong, toned body. And like these people, you can have that body in just 12 weeks with Nordic Flex Gold. Some people spend a lifetime wishing for a great body. Now with Nordic Flex Gold, you can unlock your potential in as little as 12 weeks. Nordic Flex Gold features linear motion and a patented isokinetic resistance system, providing results faster and more efficiently than with other strength training systems. Now is the time to act. Great muscle tone, accelerated fat loss, increased energy, as well as poise and confidence can all be yours in just 12 weeks with Nordic Flex Gold. To order or for more information, call now.
I really get a pump jumping out of balloons with bungee cords on or riding a motorcycle at 100 miles an hour with my head tucked over the handlebars, not being able to see anything. That is definitely an adrenaline high. Knowing that your life hangs this far between life and death. You know, you get those endorphins popping, that incredible feeling, that rush. Kind of like being on stage. It's definitely escapism. I never really have experienced true Zen, but I'm hoping me and my Ducati will get there.
ESPN2, people who do.
The offense has been big for Philadelphia, but so has Dallas Eliuk. Look at that save. Number 35, one of the best. And right now, the first team All-Pro in the Major Indoor Lacrosse League. Ricky Freed brings the ball in number 4. He takes a shot, and it goes wide of the net. Baltimore, the shots they have, many times missing. And that time, the ball goes right back to Philadelphia. Here comes Rogers, the good-looking rookie. An outstanding talent from Villanova. Across the cylinder, picked up beautifully by Baltimore. You've got to cut down those feeds, and that's what they did. Clodson picked it up, gave it to Walsh, but a timeout and a penalty. It'll be on Baltimore, and Philadelphia will get that power play. Skip Lichtfuss knows he has dug a huge hole for his team. Not him personally, but his team has got themselves in a bad spot. 3-2 the score at one time in the first quarter, and now Dallas Eliuk and the offense for Philadelphia has taken over the game, a 10-goal lead. Jackson goes into the goal or into the penalty box for 2 minutes. Watch out. Conley now triggering up top. This is a new look for Philadelphia. Conley up top. Paul Gait down low. Gives up to Resch. Resch into the cylinder, wide open, but they couldn't handle it. And Baltimore trying to pick it up, but again, Philadelphia gets the loose ball. Jason Conley all the way across. Watch out, Johnny Nostra. Nostrin gets his second goal of the game. Kevin Bilger just as frustrated as David Lee because Philadelphia keeps getting the ground balls. They keep getting the shots way out in front. Bilger not quite set because he thought his team had the ball. And correction on Nostrin, he's got 3 goals for the night. That'll be a hat trick for him. 14-3, and look at the time. 1:44 left in the second quarter. Paul Gait back into J.C. Conley behind the back, and look at Marechek missed the wide open net. Christy Lee, the Baltimore bench has to be disappointed.
Yeah, Lee, sometimes my job isn't always the best one. In that last time out, Coach Skip Lichtfuss tried to tell his team, let's take this one at a time, one play at a time. We're going to try really hard to get back in the game. He's trying to bring these guys back up. As you can imagine, things aren't real happy with the score 14-3.
Christy Lee with the continuing saga of beauty in the bench. Skip Lichtfuss has been in a lot of great games. He's a three-time All-American. He, again, has won the club championship for the last several years. So there's no give up in his team or in his coaching philosophy. Marechek, 42, all the way across to Gary and Paul Gait. Paul Gait, 19, misses the underhand shot. Philadelphia continually getting additional shots. Marechek tries with no angle from behind, launching himself out into the crease. Dixon trying to do it all on his own. Looks up, he's got two players in front of him. He's got to give it up to Mills. Wills is on one side, he doesn't. He takes it himself, but a bounce shot turned back by Dallas Eliuk. Now Dixon will be very tired. They try to get the loose ball. Dixon comes off the field, so does Wills. McAvoy, Mark Gold all the way across, and a save by Bilger. 11 seconds left in the half. And the ball will go to Philadelphia. Well, that last fast break, Lindsay Dixon had a chance to make an impact, but he didn't give it up. He's trying to do too much on his own. Ball movement, the key to this game, just like it is in all lacrosse. That'll do it. They'll let the clock wind down. 11-goal lead for Philadelphia. They are in command. We'll be back for our halftime here at the Spectrum in just a moment.
It's a silver time. It's a silver place. It's a silver setting at a silver pace. Swinging palms, our very best friends. So silver bullet smooth. They never end. In a silver time. Coors Light. In a silver place. So right here now. Silver melody.
They're always working on something new.
That's why everyone who's serious about lacrosse plays with Sticks equipment.
My mother uses a stick.
With Sticks, you'll score more goals.
Probably 1,000, 100,000, million.
The people at Sticks know the sport.
They're lacrosse players. Lacrosse players? I think my brother Paul works at Sticks. Every goal we scored was Sticks. Sure do. Can't say any more about it.
Welcome back to the Spectrum here in Philadelphia. The Coors Light halftime report with the Philadelphia Wings leading the Baltimore Thunder 14-3. I'm Christy Lee along with Lee Belsmo, and joining me benchside, one of the infamous Gary and Paul Gait brothers. It's Gary Gait. Well, obviously, Gary, we're in a blowout situation. Did you expect this to happen?
You never really know. You go into every game, you know, just ready, fired up, ready to go. After our loss last week, we came out prepared, and it's working for us.
How much has the loss of Petromala affected this game tonight?
Well, he's a key player on their defense, and but as we know in Philadelphia, you can't be a one-man team. It's, everyone else has to pick up the slack if you're going to win.
What can we look for in the second half?
I think we're going to try and play tough defense and definitely try and keep them under 10 goals in the game, and just keep working on our offense.
Thanks a lot, Gary. Seems like the defense is working just fine. Thank you very much. We'll be back for you stat fans with Lee Belsmo up next.
Are you ready to rumble?
Go first class with the host hotels of the Major Indoor Lacrosse League. In Baltimore, the Sheraton Inner Harbor Hotel. In Boston, the Boston Marriott at Copley Place. And the Cambridge Center Marriott. In Buffalo, the Buffalo Hilton. In New York, the Long Island Marriott. And in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Airport Marriott. the official hotels of the Major Indoor Lacrosse League.
In an ongoing research project to determine the ultimate beverage, I'm isolating superstar model Cindy Crawford in a Pepsi deprivation chamber.
I'll do anything for science.
We're allowing Cindy a wide range of beverages, but not a single solitary drop of Pepsi. Your hip. You'll be all right. Cindy, how do you feel?
I don't know about you guys, but I'm dying for a Pepsi.
Conclusive scientific proof. Pepsi is the ultimate beverage.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by the Philadelphia Airport Marriott, official headquarters of a major indoor lacrosse league in Philadelphia. Welcome back to our Coors Light halftime report. Today's game is not going the way Baltimore would like it. Philadelphia, after that loss to Buffalo last week, is paying back the league by taking it out on Baltimore. 14-3, they lead by 11 on their way to a potential record offense in this league, a record scoring day. Let's take a look at the scores and how they got those scores. The offensive stats, not that much of a dramatic lead for Philadelphia. 27-24 in shots on goal. Loose balls, 27-20. The key is their shots have been excellent opportunities to score. They continue to get second and third shots, and they have a lot of fast breaks. Face-offs in favor of Baltimore, but they do not capitalize on their possessions, and that has been a problem for the Baltimore Thunder. They had a 3-2 game early in the first quarter. 10 straight goals by Philadelphia took it right out of Skip Lichtfuss and the Baltimore Thunder's hands. Now they've got a lot of catch-up to do. Let's take a look at the shot chart and see exactly where the success of the Wings is coming from. Look at that, 15 opportunities right in the face of the goalies for Baltimore, and they connected almost half of them. 6 to the right, 5 to the left. So combined, 26 shots right in there at close proximity to the goalie, and it's tough to save shots when you're that close. The Baltimore Thunder don't get the same kind of balance. Only 9 right in the goalie's face, 10 from farther out. That's an easy save for most goalies, and that's why their shots are not finding the rope. Perimeter shots, 8 to the goalie's left, and again, not much angle there. They've got to get more shots right in the face of the great goalie, Dallas Eliuk. We'll be back with our second half of the action from the Major Indoor Lacrosse League on the Deuce. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Spectrum. Lee Felsmo, Christy Lee getting set for the third quarter. Philadelphia commanding lead, 14-3. They just took on an offensive tear. It was 3-2 at one moment, then 10 straight goals. Andy Piazza, number 1, the second string goalie for Philadelphia, gets some well-deserved minutes. Go ahead, Christy.
Philadelphia Wings bench. And joining me, Dallas Eliuk. Dallas, you worked so hard in the first half. They're giving you the second half off. Is that the way it goes?
Yeah, with the lead like this, if we play tough defense, it's a good opportunity to get Piazza in there and get him some floor time.
Great. Thanks a lot, Dallas. Another all-pro night for you. So the pizza man getting some major field time.
All right, Chrissy, and that is important. Again, minutes. Philadelphia's coach, Tony Resch, knows that if his team is going to challenge the Buffalo Bandits, he needs 2 strong goalies. Andy Piazza was an All-American at North Carolina. He hasn't had that many minutes in the indoor league. It's a different kind of game. He needs the exposure, he needs the experience, and he'll get it tonight. Baltimore, Wills starting, gets it behind, misses his teammate down deep. Martino now gives it back to Canabine, the good-looking rookie, number 6. Canabine goes to Wills. Wills gets checked from front and back.
Right here.
Hold will be the call against Rob Scheck. The ball will go back to Baltimore. A technical foul and just possession. Return to the Baltimore Thunder. Wide open, Canabine looking down low, dishes off the Wills, but he can't handle it. The left-hander now looks to the cylinder, tries to get by Gary Gait. Up top is Martino, picked off by Dixon. Goes for the corner shot. Piazza gets an easy first save. Good for Andy. Gives him some confidence. Now, fast break, Gait. No goal. David Lee back into the the net for Baltimore. So Skip Lichtfuss put his number 1 guy back in. He played the first quarter. Kevin Bilger played the second quarter. David Lee gave up 9. Bilger gave up 5. And now David Lee gets a chance to redeem himself. As Skip Lichtfuss said, and Christy Lee told us, 1 goal at a time, like any other sport. And clods and puts it right in the face of Piazza. Piazza looking good with 2 straight saves. Rob Scheck off to Rogers. Rogers has Marechek in front of him. Marechek with the shooting that is so hard to really read as a goalie because he can shoot behind his back. Conley misses Marechek. Now Bates picks it up, number 20, out to Paul Gait with a tuck move. Left-hander wrestled down, and he tries to get it back. 3 players take him down. His helmet absolutely turned sideways.
All right, 2 minutes
and 4. GT Corrigan on the sideline of the Philadelphia team. Now we see again that Paul Gait, once he gets the head of steam, if you watched our game last week against Buffalo, he got the same kind of attention, 2-3 players. Oh my God. 3 guys bring him down finally, and his helmet ends up sideways. Live action. That play gives Ricky Freed some time in the box. Ricky Freed played for a few years here in Philadelphia, so he's looking up for some familiar faces in the crowd. Played collegiately at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. Paul Gait now down low to his brother Gary. Up top is trigger man Rob Scheck. They've had at least 3 different formations. Marechek, he finds rope. David Lee came out in a bounce shot by Marechek. David Lee was reading it as if it was going to be a feed. I think he was thinking that Marechek was going down to the goalie's right. Marechek just took the bounce shot. Marechek again off to the left of Rob Scheck. Now watch. He'll look down to the left, and then he doesn't take it. Look how far Lee is over to the right. Lee is reading it as a feed. Marechek looked to his left, but then he pulls it back when he sees all the open area. Just takes the far pipe. Goal number 15, and Philadelphia scores first in the second half. Marechek having a good night. This is his second game in major indoor lacrosse. Chris Flynn off the face-off with possession, trying to get to Nostrin on the far side. Protecting his shoulder, he blocks off for Volker. Nostrin in there trying to help Volker, and he pushes it out again. Ground ball being controlled by Philadelphia. They have usually 2, 3, 4 shots at the goalie of Baltimore. Nostrin, hard shot for the corner, no rope. And Gatti up top. This is Kronberger looking for rope, no goal. Andy Piazza with his 3rd save, and he is looking sharp. Philly is 5 for 5 on extra man offense. Marechek, his last goal, an extra man power play, and his second one of the night. Todd Curry picks up the loose ball, and now Baltimore tries to get something going. Chris Flynn chugging back, McAvoy and Canabine across the way. Lindsay Dixon in front and tackled by Nostrin. That'll be a hold call. The technical foul will give the ball back to Baltimore in the red, yellow, and black. Tony Resch focused. I'd like to have that guy playing defense against you. He was one of the best in the field game and played a lot of good years here as a defensive specialist before taking over as coach this year for general manager Mike French. Now Wills working inside, can't get past Chris Flynn. Chris Flynn pushes him across the cylinder, and that launching shot by Wills went wide of the net. Shot clock down to 10. They're going to have to get one off fairly soon. Martino down low. Inside, launched himself across the cylinder. Timmy Horms in the cylinder, in the crease. Oh no, they're saying a push call. Piazza made a great save on Timmy Horms, number 22. Watch Horms lay himself out. Horms comes in, he'll just launch himself off, take the shot, and Piazza with a great save with the glove hand. Again, a beautiful play. Piazza has to launch himself up and take the save with the left hand, and then he gets possession. But the push call on Horms gives the ball back to Baltimore. 11 minutes left. Huge lead for Philadelphia, 12 goals. Now Philadelphia, again, takes away a good shot, gives it back to Piazza. Here's Kevin Finneran. Gary Gait running down, trying to get the ball. Gait gets it. Shot back door. Nothing but rope. Baltimore cannot handle the speed of Philadelphia as they are absolutely electrifying. Gary Gait leading this one. Actually started off to the side, but watch Gait come back in. He knew Finneran had it. Gait just exploded up the middle to get the ball, and then it was one fake near side and just a slam dunk far side. Watch the near side fake right there, pulls the goalie, and then right behind him when David Lee commits to that near side fake. Hat trick for Gary Gait. He has looked very strong tonight. Gary Gait got the second goal of the game.
Philadelphia Wings 16.
10-20 left, 13-goal lead. And the wheels are off the cart. All the cliches work in this one because it's a blowout so far. Baltimore needs to get a few goals, and starting with one. Let's get...
Easy now, easy.
Not a couple. They just need to start with one. They have not had 2 goals in succession tonight. They've had single goals spread out throughout this impressive offense for Philadelphia. Marechek finds Gary Gait. Gary Gait, one man to beat. Looking in the cylinder. Behind the back, beautiful feed to Scott Gabrielson. Three straight goals in the second half. Watch the behind the back. Gabrielson all by himself. Over the shoulder. David Lee cannot stop those shots. He needs help from his defense. The Philadelphia Wings on a record course.
Here's the brand new instructional pool video you've been waiting for. Pocket Billiards Fundamentals to Fantastics. 1993 9-ball champion Johnny Archer. 2-time women's champion Ava Mataya. Join 4-time world champ Steve Mizarek and Q-Track.
Hi, I'm Ava Mataya. Are you struggling with your game? Q-Track and some practice will make it easier.
These champions will give you instruction on banks, cuts, power draw, and the masse.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to make the great shots that I've learned.
Fundamentals to Fantastics is a brand new look at pool instruction. Fundamentals to Fantastics is available only through this special TV offer for only $19.95. You'll learn in a brand new way with Q-Track. These champions will teach you strategy, jump shots, English.
With this video, you'll learn how to perfect your stroke and have the confidence to win.
And if you order now, we'll send you absolutely free bar table billiards with a Bar King Dave Matlock. This combo offer is not available anywhere. Sorry, no COD.
Fundamentals to Fantastics. You're going to love this tape. And we're going to send you this one for free.
Call now.
We're back on the Deuce Major Indoor Lacrosse League action. 17-3 the score. The Philadelphia Wings make that 18-3. The Philadelphia Wings blowing out the Baltimore Thunder. One of the stories we didn't get to talk about in the open was the injuries. We talked, of course, to a couple of people, but John Nostrom. John, you got injured pretty good in that Buffalo game. You had to be taken out of the game, but yet you're back tonight. You want to talk to us about that injury?
Yeah, I got cross-checked in the shoulder. It was a good check. Buffalo's awful big and strong, and I bruised my scapula and strained my muscles, but it feels pretty good. About 5 or 6 days later, I was able to get my arm up above my head.
Unbelievable shoulder injury problem when you handle those bandits. What do you think about this blowout tonight? Have you ever seen a game like this?
No, I haven't. I'm very surprised. I played for Baltimore for 3 years. They have a lot of good athletes, and right now they're a little bit down, but they can come back. Really, all they have to do is get second place, and they're even with New York right now. So we play them again in a week. I'm sure they'll be fired up. So we'll have to watch ourselves here in the next quarter and a half.
All right, John, thanks a lot. 18 goals for the Philadelphia lead over the Baltimore Thunder, 18-3. We'll be back on the Deuce. I'm sorry, I couldn't.
The organic weapon is on board the station.
We hit it with everything we had.
Now the crew must stop the unstoppable.
We didn't even slow it down.
On an all-new Babylon 5. And an alien crash landing puts Darien on alert.
What happens if someone comes across him before we do?
But will a small town's close encounter become a war of the worlds? Find out on an all-new Time Tracks. Check local listings for time and channel in your area.
You want to know the secret to choosing a motor oil? You wait till the sun goes down. You take a ride to your local garage and then get a real close look at what the mechanic puts into his own car. Fact is, more top mechanics in America choose Valvoline over any other brand. Valvoline can help keep cars on the road for 100, 200, 300,000 miles and more. So before you buy a motor oil for your car, know the one more top mechanics put into theirs. People who know use Valvoline.
Well, the Philadelphia crowd getting plenty of refreshments. Nothing to worry about in this one, 18-3. My 8 years of coverage of this indoor lacrosse league, maybe the biggest blowout I've seen. A tough situation for Skip Lichtfuss, who is a winner in every definition, to get his team on track. Score by quarter, you can see the dominance of Philadelphia. Again, 3-2 was as close as it got, with Lindsay Dixon scoring the second goal at that point. And then it was just 10 straight goals for Philadelphia, and they have not looked back. Andy Piazza starts the second half in the goal for them. Their offense just keeps going. A lot of different players, I think as many as 10 have scored for Philadelphia at this point. Marechek takes a shot in close. David Lee now picks up that one. No, Kevin Bilger is back in the goal. They have made another change. Number 20, Kevin Bilger in the goal for Baltimore. Clodson to Marino. He's got a right-handed cannon off of Piazza's face mask. That one just deflected off the hand or chest and went right up to the glass. Marechek can shoot behind the back. There's the feed and a bounce shot. Great save by Bilger. Bilger protects the ball, picks it up, tries to get the Clodson. He cannot. And Bates, number 20 for Philadelphia. He's got Paul Gait to his side. This is Conley, though. Conley's going to take the shot. Another save by Bilger. Bilger has looked sharp. 3 saves. You'll notice, though, all by Philadelphia's shots. Baltimore has to put some pressure on Piazza. Piazza has looked excellent in his first 8 minutes of this third quarter. 10 players, again, have goals for Philadelphia. They have spread it around. That means only 5 guys haven't dented the nets.
Make sure we count.
And Tony Resch has to feel great about this team's chance to realistically beat Buffalo here in Philadelphia. We will have that game for you as our season progresses down the line on the Deuce. Buffalo Bandits, they're going to have to come into the Spectrum and take on this great Philadelphia juggernaut. This team is getting better and better as the weeks go on. Gary Gait, 22. Maustrin setting up a pick for him. Gait looks to unload it. Gives it off now far side. Chris Flynn can't handle. Timmy Walsh with the hacking check. Welsh around the back. He's going to get in trouble. There is a delayed call, so Baltimore has a penalty already. It could be on Welsh. Maustrin into Gary. Watch out. Whistle calls.
Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy.
McAvoy, number 12, over there talking to the referee, and this is Butch Marino as you look at him come off the field.
Make sure
Bilger has looked good as he has taken over for David Lee halfway through quarter number 3. David Lee talked to Christy Lee.
It's one goal.
I never thought about that, Christy. David Lee, do you think there's any connection down the line, down the lineage?
No connection, but they tried to give me his hotel room when we checked in, Leaf. Wouldn't he have been surprised?
He probably would have been delighted.
Yeah.
It'll be a power play for Philadelphia. Paul Gait will trigger from up top. They've had a lot of different looks. They can really do a lot of different things. Interchangeable parts on the offense for Philadelphia. Now, at this point, they put Paul Gait up top. That's Marechek. Marechek all the way down low for Finneran. Gait picks it up. Gary Gait. And a great save by Bilger. Bilger has looked sensational as he has picked it up for goalie David Lee. This is Jurgel. Jurgel coming in. The shot down low on Andy Piazza. Piazza still yet to be scored on. And quarter number 3. Paul Gait trying to defend against Harms. Harms dents the nets. He gets his goal. Beautiful job by Timmy Harms.
Go down.
Gary Gait couldn't stop him. He got right in the face of Piazza, who has been sensational. And goal number 4 for Baltimore. Watch this play. Paul Gait can't stop him. Marechek doesn't catch up. Harms fakes, comes over the top, and Piazza has nothing to say about goal number 4, Harms' first of the game. Another look at it. Watch the fake. As he comes up, dishes it right behind Andy Piazza. And that was a short-handed goal. Has to give this team from Baltimore a little bit of a lift. I'm sure Skip Lichtfuss just wants to win a quarter. We'll start with winning 5 minutes and grow from there. But Skip Lichtfuss has a tremendous amount of experience in big games. And he is focusing on the end of the season at this point with this team, trying to find the right combination. Baltimore now moving around. 6 seconds after the shot clock. They better get it off. Cannabine better shoot. He does not. They are still a man short, and that's why Cannabine was just burning up time. Now Dixon comes off, Holmes comes on to play defense. It's 5-on-4. 5 minutes left in the third period. 18-4, Philadelphia in the black and silver. J.C. Conley up top. See, here's a different look. Now you've got Conley taking the Rockets from up top. Watch out, here comes down low. They've got a total different mix of players in here right now. Bates all the way across, cannot find Mark Gold. Check up to Nostrand. Watch out, big save by Kevin Bilger. Baltimore's done a great job of turning back the offense. Look at the fast break by Martino. He can't get the shot off. Andy Piazza showing great ability to coming out of the goal, picking up the loose ball. Here they come, watch out. 3 defensive players back. They packed it in pretty good. This is not the first team extra man, the first team power play for Philadelphia. A good chance for Resch to get some work from his second line power play. Dished in close by Mark Gold. Kevin Bilger again makes a save. Bilger looking very strong after taking over about 6 minutes into quarter number 3 for David Lee. Push call against Baltimore, and Philadelphia will have it back. 1:23 left in the penalty. And the penalty on Clodston as he's in the bench. This is J.C. Conley up top. Over to Nostrand. Nostrand takes a left-handed shot. Bilger just gobbles it up. Looks for the fast break. Gutsy throw to Martino. Big play, but picked up again by Piazza. Martino with the defender, Resch, right in his face. But that is aggressive play by Baltimore. They need goals. They know it, of course. So even man down, they are pushing the offense. Here comes the first team power play with 53 seconds left. Paul Gait will trigger from up top. Finneran in a new spot. Gary Gait low and behind the back shot. Picked up by Bilger. Durgel. Picked up by Denikin. Shot and a goal. Paul Denikin finds rope. 19-4 Philadelphia. Unstoppable. Denikin takes the feed, he intercepts the clearing pass, and now he'll take the shot. Big goal for Denikin, and the lead is now 15 goals.
Turn up the heat with the ultimate dance beat. Kick it out. Radical and quality bring you North America's largest selling dance collection, Dance Mix USA.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me.
Over 70 minutes of non-stop dance energy. Get Dance Mix USA through this awesome TV offer. Cassette $14.99, CD $19.99. This is one massive collection, so you better call now. Use your credit card and get a bonus cassette with even more bass-kicking beats. Order Dance Mix USA now. Call 1-800-652-0101. That's 1-800-652-0101.
This Zamboni guy? Oh, he's good. His name's Leslie Germain. Players call him Buff. Fans love him. They go crazy for him, especially during the playoffs. The upper deck is always chanting, Boney, Boney. Buffer, Buffer, woo! Most I get is, hey, jerk, get off. Something like that. Hey, bonehead or jackass guy, get off. Or bring on the hockey guys.
Philadelphia really putting Baltimore into an emotional nightmare. 19-4 they lead. The largest margin of victory for Philadelphia against this team was 23-9 against Baltimore. That's the largest margin of victory for Philadelphia. They control the faceoff, and Philadelphia in the black and silver. Kevin Bilger, impossible to beat. He has had a great third quarter. Another save for Bilger. And Pumper is doing a great job. And Gait trying to get free. He is tackled by Mark Gold.
Take it easy, everybody's fine. I got 28 red. Count it down.
And and Bilger just let that ball go. If that ball went in the goal, that would have been Bilger's first goal of the season, maybe of his career. But yes, when you fire that ball up on an outlet pass, folks, if you're wondering whether it counts, it certainly does. I mentioned January '93, 23-9, Philadelphia over the Thunder. It's the largest ever in team history. 2:42 left in quarter number 3. A 15-goal lead for Philly as they continue to put pressure on. Finneran gets another one. Kevin Bilger has been sensational, but he cannot make all the saves. Defense lets him down again. He pulls off his helmet, and he has had it. Bilger losing a lot of fluids. And the shot comes from right out in front of him. Finneran comes in, left-handed shot, finds the corner. Nothing but rope for Kevin Finneran. His second goal of the night. Finneran is about as strong as a supporting player as you can find in this league. He does everything very well. He can give you 3 goals a night. But he's not afraid to dish off the assist. He's not afraid to get the ground balls. Plays great defense. Flynn out front, bounce shot. More rope, and Philadelphia is absolutely dizzy with offensive success. Tony Resch, not much thinking on this one. Everything they do seems to work. Flynn just wheels around and takes the shot. Bilger, who was looking so strong in his first 7 minutes of this third quarter, he came in about the 6-minute mark, replacing David Lee. He looked exceptional. Seems to have weakened a little bit, possibly getting tired, losing a lot of fluid. He's working extra hard. All the offense in his face. Andy Piazza hasn't seen the ball in a while on the other end. This is Rob Scheck. Scheck looks out front, back to Finneran. He can't collect it in the cylinder. Denikin now. Nobody on Denikin out front. Watch out. Here comes Scheck. Shot clock expires. The ball will go back to Baltimore. 1 minute, 9 seconds left in the third quarter. Durgel will pick it up. A new line comes on for Baltimore. They are absolutely confused on how to get back into this one. They really wanted a strong performance, and maybe emotionally they were knocked out of the game when Petramala could not come. He's their team leader, and he has a virus that kept him out of this game. Tripping call. This will give Baltimore a power play. So Gary Gait gets 6 minutes in the box. It's really no consequence in this game, but Gary Gait has 6 minutes. If you get 10 minutes, you are ejected from the game. So he only has 4 more minutes of penalties before he has to sit this one out. But he's already done his damage against Baltimore. Gary Gait usually doesn't have that many penalties, but he's really playing aggressively tonight. Playing fantastic defense, Gary is. He's getting some of the calls going against him, but he's played both ends of the floor tonight. Dixon up front. Great save by Piazza. Piazza's been doing a great job of using the glove to make the save. Off to the wing. Wills in close, and that's a goal. Nothing but rope for Ricky Freed. And Freed, playing his first game for Baltimore, gets his first goal of the game. 21-5. Dixon starts it off, gets it off to the wing, and Wills will just bounce it down to Ricky Freed. He goes to the far pipe, and Piazza just a little bit out of position. Not a great angle down there. Piazza gave him some rope to shoot at. That is part of the experience that Piazza needs during the game situation. He can close off that angle in those situations. 29 seconds left. Bilger comes out and levels Paul Gait. And I think Bilger gets 2 minutes in the box. Bilger came out on the fast break. And he is calling the referee over to try to get an interpretation of this penalty. Ball comes up to Gait. Bilger comes out and levels him. Looked like a good hit to me. Actually, you've got to give on a fast break. You've got to give. And he goes over and not congratulates. He makes sure Paul Gait is okay. The rule reads that you must give the player 1 step after catching the ball on a fast break. And I guess they consider that more of a fast break.
This is
So
the man that
Bilger
comes
is in the
into
net.
the keeper.
So Bilger does not have to literally sit in there. They'll put Jeff Wills in there to serve it for him. Thunder has 2 of their 4 goals on extra man offense. But they have 5 total, of course, and 21-5 is the score. So 2 of 5 goals on extra man, but they have been looking pretty good in that department. David Lee now back in the nets. Very difficult. And ball shot up. Andy Piazza came down and level. He may go in the box. Both goalies will be in the box. This is very unusual. Piazza gets 2 minutes because he came out and did the exact same thing that Bilger did. So Eliuk will have to suit back up. We'll be back for the final moments of this 3rd quarter and the beginning of the 4th in just a moment.
Think of all this as a large block of ice. Think of this as a chip off the old block. Coors Light's aged ice cold. So when you think of ice, think of the silver bullet. The only way to chill.
Doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Fresh goes better. Mentos freshness. Fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
March 11th at 8 p.m. With the Detroit Turbo roaring to the spectrum. See the game take out their former teammates. Tickets are available now at all Ticketmaster outlets, the Spectrum box office at window 16.
We're at the Spectrum. Big Gait leads his home crowd in a cheer. And to sort things out for you, as we start the 4th quarter, time has elapsed in quarter number 3 to score 21-5 in favor of Philadelphia. And we are going to keep you posted as to their most goals ever scored by Philadelphia, because this is getting right up there. But right now, both goalies that were in the game are spending time in the box. So that means Eliuk had to come back into the game. David Lee had to come back into the game. And that's very tough to do for these goalies. They get cooled off. Eliuk's situation, he had such a lead in front of him, he probably got a hot dog. So let's see how he takes the pressure. Wills now looks to get a shot off, gives it up to Jeff Jackson. Jackson defense by Chris Flynn. Flynn hammers Jackson in the face. Jackson looking for an opening. Nobody cutting inside of him. 4 on the shot clock, 3, and now it resets with a shot into the stomach protection of Dallas Eliuk. Now Philadelphia will get a chance to put pressure on David Lee. David Lee has been in and out of the game. I don't think I've ever seen a goalie come in and out of the game. This is his 3rd time he's come into the game. Very tough for a goalie to get warmed up again properly. Paul Gait, pressured inside. That tries to go to Gary. A save there by David Lee. Bolton can't pick it up. And behind the net, that was Rogers, number 14, really, that could not get the handle. David Lee there makes a nice save. So both goalies tested, and they have come up big, 21-5. Philadelphia not in danger of losing this one. Jeff Jackson in the offense. Ricky Freed now trying to get something going as they build toward the end of the year here. Ricky Freed misses the goal. Gabrielson looks for the outlet pass. And as you look at the 3rd quarter stats, you can see Philadelphia leading in shots by a big margin and loose balls by not too much. Face-offs, they lead there, and of course their shots have been much more efficient and much more better chance of going in. That's of course why they've got the big 21 goals here. Paul Gait, fast break against 2 players, rolls inside. He is now tackled down. He cannot get the ball. Durgel comes back. Defense beautifully by Ricky Freed, number 4, and Durgel, number 8.
9 seconds on a penalty, 8 seconds.
Rich Tamburino telling the players that the penalty is just about over. So a 14-goal lead is the largest margin of victory ever for Philadelphia. They will set a new record tonight if this score holds. And we have every indication that it'll get bigger. Dallas Eliuk gobbles up that shot. All right, Christy, how's this crowd enjoying the big victory?
Well, Leaf, I'll tell you, things got so one-sided. We moved up here in the stands. I'm looking for food, but all I found were a lot of Philadelphia Wings fans. Hey, you guys, did I actually hear you traveled all the way to Buffalo for the championship game last year?
Yep, we traveled about 7 hours, and we saw the game, and we're going to go back, or they're going to be here, because we're winning the championship this year. Even though we don't have Dave Evans, we are going to win.
See, I told you they're big fans, and I'll tell you, they keep playing like this, and by golly, it's going to be one heck of a championship game.
All right, well, Philadelphia takes a backseat to nobody as far as great fans. They set the mark of excellence before Buffalo came into this league, and now both of these cities are in competition for the toughest arena to play in. They both hold, the Odd and Buffalo, the Spectrum here in Philadelphia, hold about 16,000, right around the same amount, and these places are full every time the Major Indoor Lacrosse is putting on their game. Now shot in close, Bulger. No, Scott Gabrielson, number 8. And Gage came in, got the shot that was bounced off the chest of Lee and put it right back over his shoulder. So Gabrielson gets his second goal of the game. He picked up the loose ball, then came in and just bounced it past David Lee. Gabrielson with a heads-up play, getting the ball in the cylinder. There again, the ball bounces off the save, picked up by Gabrielson. Once again, the loose ball control by Philadelphia, which in my mind, they've dominated. I wouldn't be surprised, the stats don't show, but I wouldn't be surprised if Philadelphia was leading like 80-40 in ground balls. The Wings, 31 saves on the game. The Thunder, 26 at this point. Ball across, finally Wills picks it up into the cylinder. Watch out, wrapped around, and a great shot by rookie Paul Canabine. Everybody picking up the nuances of the game from Paul, Gary Gait, and Marechek. They wrap that shot around. The goalie plays the stick hand. Watch, he'll play the stick side. They'll give it inside. Good dish off the Canabine. He wraps it around his shoulders. The goalie is set for the stick side, and then it leaves the back door open just enough to get it by Piazza. 10:38 left, the 6th goal for the Baltimore Thunder. Conley for Philadelphia shoots out front. Right now, let me check who's in the goal. It's Kevin Bilger for Baltimore, and Andy Piazza, who just made his attempt to make the save in the nets for Philadelphia. 10-10 left, 4th quarter action. This is Lindsay Dixon from Towson State. Putting a lot of pressure on him to rejuvenate the offense. He's got great skills. Quick shot right in the face, the chest, the throat. Oh, Piazza. Good check defensively on Paul Gait, and a hold call on Canabine. He'll give the ball back to Gait and company. Christy?
All right, Leaf, I know the score's 22-6 in favor of the Philadelphia Wings, but I heard a rumor, something you might want to be watching for, that Paul Gait made a bet with the GM, Mike French, of the Philadelphia Wings, that he is going to score on a backbreaker tonight. He tried it in the New York Saints game for those fans who've been watching on the Deuce. Can he score on it tonight? I think it's something we ought to be looking for.
All right, Christy, and for the fans at home, the backbreaker. Good shot in by Dixon. We'll explain the backbreaker in a moment, but Lindsay Dixon came in. No defense in front of him. He got the waltz right in front, make a couple fakes on Piazza, and score goal number 7. It's the first time all night that Baltimore has scored 2 goals in a row. And that is something that makes Skip Lichtfuss happy. Right now, they're leading the 4th quarter 2-1. And I think that's where the coaching staff of Baltimore will start, by saying to his team, let's win quarter number 4, because we play these guys next week back in the Thunderdome. But Christy was talking about the backbreaker. It's a shot where Paul and Gary come down and they shoot right straight over behind their back. The stick goes over their head and between their legs. It's very tough to find an open net, but it is a dramatic shot nonetheless. We'll watch for it as the game winds down. 8:38 left. McAvoy, good defensive check, but a pickup and a goal by Chris Flynn. Philadelphia is just taking all the loose balls. Chris Flynn gets goal 23. 16-goal lead for Philadelphia with 8:34 left. We'll be back to the Spectrum on the Deuce in just a moment.
Turn up the heat with the ultimate dance beat. Kick it out. Radical and quality bring you North America's largest selling dance collection, Dance Mix USA.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me.
Over 70 minutes of non-stop dance energy. Get Dance Mix USA through this awesome TV offer. Cassette $14.99, CD $19.99. This is one massive collection, so you better call now. Use your credit card and get a bonus cassette with even more bass-kicking beats. Order Dance Mix USA now. Call 1-800-652-0101. That's 1-800-652-0101.
Chris Flynn facing off against Bill Durgle. And Baltimore controls Brian Kronberger from Loyola College. Gives it to Ricky Freed, number 4. This is Butch Marino, who likes the right-handed shot as he wheels back for it. He finds somebody in the cylinder. Kronberger cutting across with the defensive play of Mark Gold takes away the shot. 8 minutes left, quarter number 4. Lee Felsmo, Christy Lee on the Deuce, bringing you major indoor lacrosse league action. It's a blowout for Philadelphia. You don't see many blowouts in this league, at least historically. But this team from Philadelphia is getting so strong that they are just giving everybody trouble. Piazza picks up the loose ball back to Denikin. Fresh shot pockets. Philadelphia gets a new offensive set. Finneran takes it, number 11. And Philadelphia has done an amazing thing. Everybody on their roster has a point in tonight's scoring. Folks, that might be a first in Major Indoor Lacrosse League history. Butch Marino looking across, finds Timmy Welsh. Timmy Welsh cannot find the handle. He's got the left-handed shot. Beautiful goal on the far side. Oh, they're saying he was in the goal. Clodson made a tremendous play for a slam dunk goal behind Piazza, but they took it away because he stepped in the crease. Goal number 8 does not count. Look away, shot into Gary Gait. Wraps it around. Wide of the net, 7 minutes left. Still 23-7. Nobody's worrying about who's going to win this game. Follow-up shot, Philadelphia. That's probably 4 shots of this offensive set. Finally, Baltimore gets it. They can't get it up quickly and lose it one more time. Jackson finally gets it. He's got Clodson on the far side. Sheck has to split him. Clodson now gets the feed, fake, and a goal. Boy, that was well worth the wait for Clodson. He had one taken away moments ago. But Clodson, right where he should be on the fast break, got the feed from Jackson and made a great fake. Watch this as the ball comes up. Jackson finally gets control. Clodson's to our left. Jackson will draw the defensive check, give it off to Clodson. Now watch Clodson make the near fake and find Rowe as he dives across the crease. 2 dives, 1 goal taken away. 1 goal counts. Goal number 8 for Baltimore. Score now 23-8. 6:29 left in the 4th.
Tommy! Tommy! 5 on 5!
All right,
5
Tamburino.
on 5, Tom!
Tamburino getting his referee set up that it's all even. And Tamburino calls a timeout. Equipment. And Andy Piazza needs to get his equipment squared away.
Watch it, guy, Hank. I'm with you. I'm not interrupting.
Well, as this game winds down, let's take a look at our schedule here on the Deuce. Boston at Buffalo next week, 7:30 live. You'll see that one. Philadelphia versus New York on the 28th of February at 7 o'clock. Baltimore at Detroit. We'll see them again playing the tough Turbos and the Wild Bunch. That was a matchup we saw to start off our action here on the Deuce this season. Detroit played in Baltimore, and Detroit found themselves in that game. That team looks like a contender in the other division. 5:40 left. Right down the cylinder goes Rogers. Big save by Kevin Bilger. Now he looks for the outlet. Way up front. Watch out, Cannabine. Cannabine picks it up. Marechek trying to play defense against the young rookie. Martino on the far side. Martino does not cut to the cylinder. He can't get it because of Gabrielson's defense. Finally, Cannabine takes the shot. Piazza gobbles it up. Ball loose. Watch out. Far side. Martino cannot find it. Piazza lost control. Martino could not capitalize. That was a gimme. 23-8 to score. Philadelphia trying to make it even more. Conley into the cylinder. Watch out for Gary behind the back. Checked away. This is Conley now looking for help out front. Back door was Finneran. Paul Gait. Watch him come in. Left-handed shot. And Bilger makes the big save. Goalies have looked good in spots, but they have been on the floor and off the floor without any long run of consistency for the Baltimore goalies. Eliuk sensational, and Andy Piazza every bit as good in his stint here in the second half. Score by quarters again. Those 2 goals in the first quarter was about as close as it ever got. It was 3-2 at one point, but then huge offense. But in the fourth quarter, you see Baltimore leading now 3-2, and that is what they would like to do to come out of this one with a fourth quarter win. And just focus on that as they go into next week against the same Philadelphia Wings in Baltimore. Marechek cannot pick up the fast break. Butch Marino can't get the loose ball. Sheck now has got Bulger. Over to Bulger. Bulger takes the shot, and Bilger makes the save. He immediately looks up for the outlet pass and finds Klodson. Lindsay Dixon's too tired for the fast break, so he comes off. Walsh comes on. Klodson, who started, goes off as well. Walsh trying to bully his way in past Gary Gait. 3:49 left. Landslide victory for Philadelphia, and he comes in. Walsh makes the fake bounce shot. Piazza with another great save. Walsh picks up his own shot. That's something good to see. Baltimore rarely getting second opportunities. They get one here. Cutting man in the cylinder, and another shot that goes wide. Jackson missed it. Forms had a great cut that did not get the feed. Wills fakes it. There's an open man far side. There he is. Rocket shot. Todd Curry cannot get it, and he brings down Philadelphia. Hold call. It'll give the ball to Philadelphia now with 3:18 left. Good chance for Baltimore to get 2 and 3 shots. One of the few times tonight they've gotten successive shots. They usually have one shot and out.
2:99. 3 minutes.
All right. 2-minute call by Rich Tamburino, rather. Look at this hustle index. We've got Philadelphia just pounding the loose balls, 69-55, and they make it count. When they get those loose balls, they normally ignite that fast break, and that has been something Baltimore has not handled all night. We'll be back with the closing moments of our game. The Spectrum. Philadelphia is going to come out with another win. They'll be 2-1 at the end of tonight.
In the past, to gain weight, you had to eat food loaded with fat and cholesterol. Now there's GNC's Pro Performance 1850 Weight Gainer, scientifically designed with 1,850 fat-free calories per serving. Pro Performance 1850, only at General Nutrition Centers.
A red wing flies gracefully in the sky. A maple leaf falls gracefully from a tree. Those are about the only graceful things in this game. The Detroit Red Wings versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. Tomorrow at 7:30. NHL on ESPN2.
We're back on the Deuce Major Indoor League lacrosse action will continue in a second, but first let me tell you about some fire and ice. The NHL on ESPN2, the Vancouver Canucks, I love that word, and the Chicago Blackhawks, Thursday night, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific time. Catch it live on the Deuce. We're back with action at the Spectrum. The Philadelphia Wings leading the Baltimore Thunder. Quite a blowout, 23-8. The bench here, Leaf, is unbelievably joyful, as you can imagine, coming off that tough loss to Buffalo last week. The guys are feeling a lot better better about themselves.
And don't forget, they'll have a chance to play Buffalo again right here in the Spectrum. And this is the day they'll remember. They'll forget that Buffalo game pretty quickly. This team looks pretty awesome as Ricky Freed dunks one behind Andy Piazza. He got open right in the cylinder, right in front of Piazza. The defense not able to pick him up. And that was a power play goal, 5-on-4 for Baltimore. They get their 9th goal. It's really uncanny that this blowout is matching point for point as we look at the replay. Freed just cutting into the cylinder, getting wide open and wheeling, putting it over in the corner to beat Piazza. But January 30th, 1993, which was last year, of course, Philadelphia beat Baltimore right here, 23-9. Right now, the exact same score, obviously. 23 goals also represents the most goals ever by a Philadelphia team.
What do you say we get on our feet for the last 2 minutes?
Robbie Sheck. He's got a defenseman in front of him. And one behind, shot by Flynn. Next goal will set a team record if they can get one, as most goals ever scored by Philadelphia. Gary Gait all the way across, finds an open man who couldn't handle it. Denikin.
Relax, easy. Get off each other.
16 on the shot clock as Tom Marino tries to control everything down there. Butch Marino. Hear him, Mike, as our referee. Gary Gait takes a shot, picked up by Bilger. Now Baltimore looking for the outlet. They've got a minute 20. Clodson over to Welsh. Welsh looks for help. He's right in the middle. Good shot there. Gets a bounce past Piazza. Piazza with a nice foot save. 23 goals, again, tying a league record as well as a personal best, a PB by Philadelphia.
Last minute. Final quarter.
Less than a minute to go. Philadelphia trying to get that 24th goal. Sports Night is next for everybody on the Deuce. Stay with us. All the scores and updates. Marechek puts the ball in front. They're trying to get the 24th goal. Finally, Paul Gait does it. He finds rope. A new team record, a new league record for goals scored. 24 for Philadelphia. And what a better choice than Paul Gait. I couldn't think of one. He leads the offense as Bilger comes off saying, I can't do any more than I'm doing. Paul Gait was right in front of him. Watch how he gets it right in the cylinder, right in front. Matt Wilson can't take him out. Durgo walks right by the whole process, and they just dunk the ball past Kevin Bilger. 17th goal of the season for Paul Gait. Definitely one of the focuses of every defense in this league. Paul Gait slightly ahead of his brother Gary in offensive numbers, but Gary has played a great game tonight on both ends of the floor. Tough defense and big contributions on offense for Gary Gait. 23 seconds left as Bilger picks up the loose ball. The score looks like a 24-9 unless Baltimore can pick up their 10th goal. That's what they average per game. Their average per game is 10 goals. Far side, Clodson looks to take a shot. He doesn't get it off. Good defense applied there, and it won't go any farther than it is. 24-9 will be the final. McAvoy, oh, he takes a shot from well out, and it counts. Two seconds left in the game. And Bilger looking up, really not expecting that to be a shot. Probably wasn't even watching it at all. The ball was really a feed. And the man, Mark Gold, to get the ball, just helped that ball go in. That's 25 goals. Again, a new team record, a new league record for goals scored. What a great rebound for this Philadelphia squad after losing to Buffalo in Buffalo last week. Tony Resch, Mike French, general manager, T.T. Corrigan, assistant coach, they're all feeling great about this team right now. Piazza scoops it up and makes the big save. He had a great second half. Everybody on the Philadelphia roster has really contributed to this great victory. Philadelphia sets a new league record, a new personal best for their offense, 25-9. We'll be back with final comments in just a moment.
Game on the Deuce is brought to you by Coors Light, the official beer of the MILL. Coors Light, check it out. By Adidas, the official footwear of the MILL. Adidas, the brand with 3 stripes. And by STX Lacrosse Equipment, official equipment supplier to the Philadelphia Wings. We're back at the Spectrum, where the Philadelphia Wings have pretty much blown out the Baltimore Thunder in MILL Indoor League lacrosse action. 25-9 the final. Joining me, the most valuable player tonight, Tom Marechek. Tom, we're going to take a look at one of your goals here tonight. You had an awesome performance against the Thunder.
Thank you very much, yeah. It was the first game. I needed to break the ice tonight, and it happened tonight, so I needed this. I needed the confidence for my first game at home, so it worked.
That's right. You missed the season opener. You played in Buffalo, but this has really been your first test.
My first test, and I'm happy today. You know, like I said, I needed to break the ice, and it came through, and the guys worked really hard, and it was a good fought effort to win. So we're looking, hopefully we're going to gel in time during the season, so it'll be good.
Tommy, you're from Syracuse University. You played with Paul and Gary Gait for many years. Does it feel good to be back with them?
Oh, it's great to be back with them. You know, it's been a while. It's been 3 years since I played with them, and us 3 clicked together. We played together for 15 years, and they gave me the opportunity to come back and play for them. I took the season off. I was supposed to play for Buffalo, and it's working out for the best of us, and hopefully we're going to have a good season throughout.
Well, of course, we have to bring up Petramala. He was not here today. He's a huge defenseman for the Baltimore Thunder. Did it make a difference?
I think it did. Petramala is a great player, great defensive player, and a great leader. So that's what they're missing most of all is his leadership on defense, and they sort of broke down at the end. It was too bad that Dave couldn't make it, but it was good for us.
Well, you play these guys in Baltimore next week. The same game plan?
Same game plan. We can't really, you know, you don't fix what's not broken is what they say, and we're going to go in the same game plan and hopefully do what we did today against them next week, so it'll be good.
Great. Thanks a lot from Syracuse University. Tom Marechek, our most valuable player tonight.
All right, thank you very much, Christy Lee. It was a game that was all Philadelphia offense, 25-9. They just absolutely lit up the scoreboard. Let's take a look at how they did it. The stats aren't overwhelmingly in favor. Of course, the score 25-9, a new record for Philadelphia. That's the most goals they've ever scored in a game. A new major indoor lacrosse league record also, 25 goals. That's the best ever. Shots on goal, 56-45. And let's look how they did it. Right down the middle, you can see that they have 61 shots right in front of the opposing goalie. That gives them a full 18 square feet to shoot at. That is the secret to their success. 12 goals in close and 3 from either wing. So that's 19 goals within 5 yards of the goalie. So when they shoot, they are right in the face of the goalie of Baltimore. For the Thunder, as we look at their shooting, they only got 6 goals in that critical area right in front of the goalie. They had 29 attempts, but only 6 found their way into the net, or actually on goal. And to the left, also 11 to the goalie's left. So anyway, the shot selection much better for Philadelphia as they march on and really become an offensive force in the Major Indoor Lacrosse League. And what a day for Tony Resch, the coach of the Philadelphia Wings. His team lost to Buffalo last week, but this week they came back and showed the most offense ever in the Major Indoor Lacrosse League, and that makes us look down the road. First, let's look at our next 3 games on the Deuce as we get ready to move toward our championship selections. Boston will play at Buffalo February 19th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And that'll be our first look at Boston, a great team that is really challenging both Detroit and Buffalo for the lead in that division. Philadelphia will play at New York February 28th. And as we move down throughout this season, Buffalo will come back here around March 21st. Watch for that on the Deuce. But tonight, it was all Philadelphia. It was 3-2 early on, but then the Gaits got things moving. Watch Gary Gait come in, set up against the defense. This is the way it looked all night for Philadelphia. Moving the ball beautifully, making the passes when they had to, using everybody on the roster. Everybody had at least 1 point And Philadelphia wins a big one. They go 2-1 now with a 25-9 win. For Christy Lee, I'm Lee Felsmo. Join us next week for our continuing coverage of Major Indoor League Lacrosse on the Deuce.
Hey, come here. Do you know it's Valentine's Day? You're lying. Don't give me that stuff. Well, you know about Valentine's Day, traditional, goopy, overwrought, sickening romance. How could be more sickening, romantic,